Well, thanks for joining me today, Elysia Allen with Coldwell Banker Oceanside Real Estate in Victoria, British Columbia. I am absolutely thrilled and over the moon to introduce Shelly Urban with Beanaroo Baby, designer, owner, operator extraordinaire of an incredible, unique clothing line.
You.
So thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us today.
Thank you for having me.
My gosh. Now, I'm first of all, I'm just blown away. The talent of Shelly, which we're going to get into. But first of all, let's learn a little bit more about you. Where are you originally from?
I've been born and raised in Vancouver, BC. Did a short stint in Oregon recently for my husband's job. And now we have moved to Vancouver Island.
Yes. Yeah. And thrilled with the move.
Absolutely.
Because once you come to the Rock, you never leave.
It's true. And it's not just because the ferries stop running.
Fantastic. Well, now, how did you even get into fashion?
Well, I've always sewn my whole life. I remember sewing with my mom and my grandma when I was like 5 and 6 years old. I remember making a tiny little quilt for my cat. Wow. When I was 8, maybe. And then all through high school, I loved home economics. It was my favorite class. Right. And I never wanted to do what the project was. Like if people were making a stuffed pig, I was making the stuffed crocodile. And then after high school, I found a really great program at Kwantlen that was for fashion design. It's actually been sponsored by Chip and Shannon Wilson from Lululemon now.
Wow.
So yeah, and then it just led to this career.
Oh my gosh. Now, how long is the program itself?
The program is 4 years, so it is a degree program. And when I went in, they were only accepting 44 students each year. Yeah,
so it just shows that level of eliteness.
Yeah.
And it sounds like born with a sewing needle in your hand, because
pretty much.
As I made a bag. I don't know if I could really call it a bag.
A pouch?
Yeah, I mean, it had a pocket.
Well, there you go.
You know, but I'm just like, I know how difficult it is to sew. I can barrel stitch some military labels in some of my undies and my socks. But to appreciate the skill involved.
Yeah. It's a labor of love, for sure.
Oh, man, and the time. And, you know, we'll talk about your equipment that you use as well down the road, because I don't even know how to turn these things on. So that's fantastic. So from a young age, and then you go through this Kwantlen program that's very elite. And then after that, because you worked with Helly Hansen.
Yes, I was at Helly Hansen for 5 years, and then I was at Atomic Skiing for a year. So I felt like I was destined for the outdoor apparel industry, and then I had kids, which, you know, changes everything. And when we had kids, we decided we were going to exclusively cloth diaper. Yep. And unfortunately, at the time, there were very few options for the cloth diapered bum.
Right.
And I felt like I was squeezing my kids into a sausage casing every time I was dressing them.
Right.
And so I started making their clothing. And then so I was making like little jogger pants and grow with me pants. And then all of a sudden it exploded. Anytime somebody asked if I could make something, the answer was always yes, I can make that.
Fabulous. Yeah. So you saw the need that wasn't being met, you know, and I've had this problem, you know, finding something that fits if I'm a little curvy or something like that.
Or a little tall.
That's it.
Or even short.
Yes. You know, it takes all kinds in this world.
Yeah.
And so wow. So it led you to this amazing business that you run. And now Beanaroo Baby. Where did the name come from?
My nickname was Shelly Bean, which got shortened to Bean. And so it just kind of seemed like a natural progression to become something a little cutesy, Beanaroo Baby. Baby, obviously, because we was doing baby clothes.
Yes.
And now I'm doing a lot more than baby clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you take care of us adults, too.
Oh, I do. Some of my biggest sellers are the Daddy and Me underwear sets.
Nice.
The perfect Father's Day and Christmas gift.
That is fantastic,
Yeah.
which we're going to talk about all kinds of different products.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, you're taking care of all of us here,
Yeah.
not just baby, but that's how the name morphed. And
Yep.
here we are. Now, what areas do you service? Because
Well, when I was in Oregon, where this started, I was on Etsy, which allows you to ship everywhere.
Okay.
And then when COVID hit, I know some places were restricting the mail coming in, but I do think that's pretty much opened back up. So worldwide, I have shipped all over the US and Canada and Europe. I think one of my furthest deliveries have been either Australia and then on the other side, Turkey.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. People need underwear all over the world.
Yes, an underwear that's unique,
Yeah.
that you can't get anywhere else.
I mean, you get to pick the prints, which I think is really the selling point for a lot of people and for kids is, you know, to potty train, you get to pick out any underwear you want.
Which I'm going to have fun picking myself. Now, where do you find these fabrics?
Oh, all over the place. I work with a few women that do their own designs and then have their fabrics printed and milled from Europe.
Wow.
I have bought from importers that also have fabrics that are European or from China.
Right.
And a lot of it is done on Facebook.
Okay.
That's how I find a lot of these groups. The US has a ton of suppliers, and now that we've moved back to Canada, I'm finding they've got some great suppliers here too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's just that importance of network and relationships with folks all over the world.
Yeah. And I love some of the custom designs that they come up with. So you're really not going to find them in store.
No, as I've seen, because, you know, it's incredible the depth of pattern or color, material.
Yeah.
I mean, you showed me a cardigan.
Yeah. Clothing should be fun.
It should be fun. Why isn't it as much as it should be? That's because you got to chat with Shelly. And sizing and things like that. Because with handmade items, you know, how does that kind of vary from maybe mass production in stores? Like,
So mass production clothing each brand will have its own sizing. So that's why you can't compare yourself, well, I'm at this size and this brand, because they've determined what that size means.
Right.
So with handmade, it's always very true to size. And that's why I always tell people, look at the size chart, because what you think you are may not be what you actually are. Right. There's a lot of vanity sizing that can go on with store-bought brands too.
Okay.
So, you know, when you think you're a extra small, you might not be an extra small.
right, because I've always been perplexed with the size 0. Like,
Yeah.
not that I've ever been a size 0.
Me
but,
neither.
but I think, does a 0 exist? Like, do I exist as a human being?
Very tiny.
Very, very
Yeah.
tiny. But yeah, so fantastic. So check the size chart,
Yes.
but true to size, and you're not fitting into a sausage.
Yeah, no sausage casings here.
which is fabulous. Well, now take us through. We've got a few examples here before we get into some of your equipment as well, because it produces such incredible pieces. Like, this is just a fraction.
Yeah.
We're scratching the surface here.
Yeah.
I'm even sporting the hat.
Yeah.
So
hand-stitched.
Hand-stitched. Like, I would have been bleeding all over the place trying to put this together. But now what have we got here?
So these are some of my biggest sellers here. These are trainers. So after your child is on the verge or done with diapers and on the verge of being potty trained, you get your training underwear, which has an absorbent liner sewn into it, but it looks like underwear. So it kind of gives them that big boy or big girl feel. And again, kids get to choose the prints. We've got so many fun ones.
Nice.
And you can choose the level of absorbency. And you can even have a waterproof layer put in so that it can help keep your clothing from getting wet. So I sell a ton of these, and people just love like letting their kids get on, see all the prints, and say, you know, if you use the potty, you can have strawberry underwear.
Nice. So there's incentive.
Yeah, and then I started sewing these for a store in Oregon. They're just little stay-on booties. So they are a moccasin with an ankle wrap. So, you know, the kids can't kick them off, because that's the first thing you lose at Costco. Is your children's socks and shoes.
Yes.
And they're fleece lined and they have leather soles. So when they start walking, they do have some grip.
Can you make them in a bigger size?
I have made them in adult sizes.
Nice.
Yeah. And then these, I've just started making these. These are waterproof booties. So it's a nice soft shell, cute unicorn pattern here. And this has a Tuff-Tech sole, so it's a rubber sole. So this is for like the little guys, you know, if you're an avid hiking mom or you like going out into the mountains and stuff, they'll still go over their existing moccasins or socks to keep them dry and warm, but they can also get down into the snow and still stay pretty dry.
That's phenomenal. Yeah. And I guess with all of you, like you, because you love to ski, you love the outdoors, so you understand the ruggedness.
Yes, and sometimes you just what works, you know. Sometimes stuff looks really cute, but it doesn't work.
It's a delicate balance, but you've found that balance, and honestly, not just fashion, but function and a diverse use. Like, it's like, I don't know how long I've said, oh, I wish they had something maybe put in with these to make it better, or, you know, or you have 20 pairs of something to try and find that perfect balance. But you've incorporated it all into one.
Yeah, and I also offer, like on the trainers in particular, I offer a large range. I have been contacted by several parents of children that have developmental issues that they need adult-sized underwear, but with the protection that a trainer comes. And so I've done a lot of that stuff. I've done adult clothing as well that's specialized. I've worked with kids that have G-tubes or, you know, like feeding tubes and whatnot. Just something that works for everybody.
Right. Well, because it's custom and it's unique and it's made for your clients.
Yes.
Whatever it is they need. That's incredible, Shelly. I mean, where else do you find this?
Exactly. Yeah.
And not just, I'm gonna reach over here because I'm a huge hoodie lover. And now, what have we got here? We've got.
This is a cute little hoodie dress. So my daughter was really into the sweater dresses when she was younger, and so this was a pattern that I just made extra long for her. And they just kind of took, these were really popular at Christmas markets, you know, like something a little bit different.
Right, if you wore them with leggings,
jeans, everything.
Some awesome
booties. Yeah.
And I did have a little sneak peek. I asked if Shelly could make them for dog feet too, which...
I'm pretty sure I can.
Yes. There's no stopping what you can do.
Outfit the whole pooch.
I love it. So now, you know, with your family as well, and Elliot, your daughter, she, you know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because as we take a tour of your workshop and that kind of thing, I notice she has a sewing area.
She does. She has definitely been bitten by the sewing bug.
Yes.
So for her birthday last year, we got her first sewing machine.
Nice.
And she insisted she had to sew her own trick-or-treat bag this year.
Wow.
So she picked the biggest bag pattern we could find and all of her own fabrics.
This one right here?
Yeah, that's it, with all the bats. And she made it, and she pretty much filled that bad boy trick-or-treating this year.
Okay, impressive.
Yeah, it was heavy.
But look at this. I mean, can we zoom in on this? This is incredible.
Yeah, no, she loves it. So she comes in and she picks through my fabrics and the scrap bins and just sews up all sorts of things. It's really sweet.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, she's already got plans for her next sewing thing. She wants to make a zippered baggie.
So now you're incorporating other pieces. So zippers, buttons.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Snaps, everything.
I'm in awe. And I had to grab a pair of these because I just love the creative fun you have with fashion. And I can see why this program was so exclusive. Because and being a mom, I think, is a big part of inspiration.
Yes.
Because take me through these.
Okay, so this is a pattern that I found. They're called Grow with Me Joggers. So they're nice and wide through the hips for those cloth diapered bums.
Nice.
But they fit, this style here, this size here fits 12 months to 3T. So when they're really little, you would roll down the waistband and you'd roll up the little cuffs so that they're shorter and they have a snugger fit. And then as your baby grows, you roll it up less and less. My son fit these from 12 months until 4 because he's a bit on the tiny side. But he lived in these pants.
Yeah.
And they got cute little pockets because what little boy doesn't love pockets?
Right.
And, you know, we have so many fun prints. We can do them in solid. We can do them in dinosaurs, cats, sharks, whatever you need. So, yeah, these were also very popular because who doesn't want a pair of kids' pants that last 2 years?
It's like a dream come true.
Yeah, exactly. And I do find that the custom fabrics tend to last longer than the store-bought stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because it's that TLC that's also put into it.
Yes.
And, you know, because it is handmade, you know the quality of the stitch. And I mean, nothing against, you know, store-bought clothing, but you can really feel and see the difference.
Yeah. Yes, because I'm touching every single piece and I'm doing every single seam. So I get to watch and like the whole process and I'll know instantly when something is off.
Oh my God. It's very rare I'm speechless, but and you can see that. So maybe take us through some of the equipment you use when you're creating.
Oh, well, I mean, it all starts at the cutting table where I use a super scary rotary knife. I
Oh my
thankfully, knock on wood, have not caused myself any harm, but that does happen. So we do a lot of the cutting out. And that is the most tedious part is standing and cutting for hours.
Right.
I have, let's see, what do I have here? 6 sewing machines of my own.
Wow.
So I have 2 industrial ones, which are workhorses, and then I have cover stitches and regular FAF sewing machines. So we build it all, and then I trim everything up and I clean it and I give it a once over, the wipe down with the lint brush, and I package it all up. And usually I have to go through every seam because even though I've seen it, I want to make sure that everything has connected well and that every thread is trimmed, every piece is pressed just right.
Right.
Yeah, and so like I said, it's a labor of love, and there's a lot of love in here.
There is a lot of love, and you can really feel it. Like, I can see why the inspiration comes from such an incredible workspace as well, because you need room. I mean, just how to create these things. And like I said, I mean, maybe you could show me how to turn one of these things on at some point, because I'm fascinated. It has a foot pedal. Like, I love
and that one goes 5,000 stitches a minute.
5,000. So you got to be on, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, if you're not paying attention, it can give you a scare.
Right.
I have sewn myself on the industrial straight stitch.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and the needle broke off in my finger. And then at the hospital, they asked me if I did it with a machine.
Ooh.
Which confused me, because, I mean, who would do that with a hand stitch?
Fair enough question.
Yeah.
So, you know, you sacrifice life and limb for the creative clothing.
Yeah, that was actually making a Halloween costume for my son. That happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
See, remember this, Nate. Labor of love.
Yes. I went to the hospital for you.
Now, how long would it take for you to make an article of clothing?
It really depends. The trainers can be a bit time consuming because there's so many pieces and so many layers. So that's probably 20 minutes to half an hour, depending on what the person has chosen.
Right.
Pair of pants like this, maybe 15 minutes from cut to sewn. These guys are pretty involved just because of all the different components, and then it has the snaps on it as well. Right. Yeah, so I'd say on average, a piece takes me 15 to 20 minutes, but most people don't ever order just one thing.
No, and I know why. So, and you've got clients all over the world. So, I mean, I think this is such an incredible venture because, you know, disclosure, I met Shelly on the ice.
Yes, many moons ago.
Fellow Sedin twin, you know, and incredible hockey player. And, you know, mom and seamstress, like you're a Jill of many trades here. And, you know, because are there some hobbies that you like to do to kind of take a break from sewing? And
yeah, well, I've started swimming because that's something you can do year round. It does rain a lot in Vancouver Island, so you can't really just, you know, like you in the running and biking and stuff, I can do that in the rain. So I do my own stuff, go for walks with friends, you know, coffee dates and stuff like that. But, you know, pretty much here, COVID was a real homebody situation and experience for everyone.
Yes.
So everybody's gotten a lot more comfortable in their homes.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, fantastic. And I hear you might be dabbling a little bit on the ice here and there.
Yeah.
Or taking a look-see.
Yeah. I have recently started taking up, like, playing hockey again. And that's, I mean, it's been 5 years.
Like riding a bike.
Yeah, it is like riding a bike, but everybody else is a lot younger.
What?
I know. So it's like a really fast-moving bike that you just gotta jump back on and start pedaling.
Maybe we could start a little training program together.
Yes, the middle-aged hockey league.
Middle-aged one, that's it.
Because everybody loves to be called middle-aged.
Absolutely. Oh gosh, I know it is a little harder.
It is.
But no, magnificent. So what are some of the challenges you've had, with the creation of the business, or probably COVID is a big one?
Well, COVID was the big one because a lot of my revenue stream was markets,
right.
particularly holiday ones. So usually in November is when it started, and it would be every weekend, November, right up until 2 weeks before Christmas, I would be doing shows all over Oregon and Washington.
Right.
And so that obviously was canceled. And even I think it's still canceled down there for most of this year as well. So that was hard. Yeah. And then, of course, moving across the international border changed a few things.
Yes.
And markets here are starting to open, but I didn't really know any of them. So I'm learning. So for next year, fingers crossed, I will remember to enter some of those handmade craft markets. And yeah, like I think a lot of small businesses suffered with the closures.
Right.
Yeah. And also not a lot of people are going to stores anymore. I did sell in a couple of stores in Oregon, and up here I know there are people that do a lot of buying from local artists and selling their stuff, but it never feels quite as lucrative as it could be.
Right, right. So, hence virtual, all of us, even real estate,
Yes.
adapting, reaching the masses through media.
Posting.
That's why you don't have time to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, I just gotta do this TikTok video.
Oh, that's a whole other thing I'm trying to...
It's so hard.
It's
also hard.
Well, and no, for sure. So it's... And, let me know the farmers markets, because it's a big thing that I value is to support local, to shop local, keep your local economy going.
Yes.
So meeting with fantastic artisans like yourself,
Thank you.
And spreading the word, guys, we'll post Shelly's contact information and all of that for you, but where else do you find this? I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a pretty big endeavor, and a huge collection of fabric back here. Pretty much when people ask me, do you have any of XYZ? Chances are I do.
You do.
Yeah. My daughter started out being a dinosaur lover.
Yes.
And there was never dinosaur underwear for girls.
Why is that?
I don't know, because I love dinosaurs too.
Right.
And my son loves pink.
Yes.
And they don't make a lot of boys pink clothing.
Right.
So obviously, he comes in and he'll pick out, I want this underwear and I want this as a shirt. And so he gets his pink fix.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. It should be fun and you should be happy with it. I mean, it's 2021.
Yeah, exactly.
So
anybody can love anything.
Exactly. Well, so now goals. So of course we've had our challenges.
Yeah.
What are your goals?
Well, I'd love to get back into the markets and
Yes.
selling in person. I do know Victoria has summer markets as well.
Yes.
So we'll just that'll depend on my heat tolerance.
Fair. Because I'm a sauna lover. I live in those things.
There was one market I did in Oregon, and I was like, never again. I was like, it was 100 degrees. And that's hard to be on your feet all day in 100-degree weather. So I'd love to get into markets again. I'd love to get into some local stores with some of my items. I don't think all of them are appropriate.
Right.
And just, selling online, increasing my business. And I know I've noticed a lot more Canadian orders since I've moved back to Canada, which is great.
Yes.
I know Etsy's really good at pointing out who's a local seller, and
Great.
they're about supporting your local economy too.
Great.
And just getting the word out,
Yes.
letting people know, like, if you want it, I probably can make it.
Right? Well, that's what I mean. We've discovered some other things, and
Yes.
we'll be talking off camera on those. Well, that's incredible. Well, is there something you'd like to share with new clients or prospective clients that folks may not know? Possible deals or groups or?
Yeah, so I have a group on Facebook called Beanaroo Baby VIP, and in that group you can see all of the available prints for underwear or sweaters, joggers, shirts, you name it, which is a great way for you to see everything that you can have. And there's also discount codes for both my Etsy shop and my standalone website, exclusive to VIP members.
Nice.
Yeah, and also if it's not on there, but verbally I always tell people, if you buy 7 pairs of underwear, you get an 8th pair for free.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, that's a huge bonus because we go through them.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like, and then just think 7, 8, you've got that bonus in case you haven't done that load of laundry on the
Exactly.
Fabulous. Well, that's great because having those sneak peeks because it's always evolving. Like you're always finding prints and the creative designs that people are coming up with.
Oh, I love them. I love fabric, obviously, and I love discovering new designers and new producers as well. Moving back to Canada, it's really opened my eyes to what great Canadian artists we have and just some of the beautiful qualities that they are producing. And so my fabric collection has grown significantly since we moved here. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, and how is it? Is it like through feel, like different types of material that you go for?
Yeah, so with like underwear, it's always cotton spandex. I do buy organic where possible.
Okay.
And then obviously for sweatshirts and sweaters, it's French terries and sweats. And it's gotten to a point, because all of it's online now, that I'll just kind of know my companies that I trust to have the quality and the right feel and weight of fabric. And all the fabric companies also will post how heavy the fabric is, and I'll just know what those mean. Like, okay, that's going to be that's going to be too heavy for underwear, or that's going to be perfect for leggings.
So not just artist, but scientist. I mean, like, someone like myself, I'd have no idea. I've seen, tags on clothing or something, and I'm like, I don't know, 35% polyester or whatever. Like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But you do. So you even know the rating for what would work best with what type of article of clothing.
And I usually know how it's going to feel too. With most of my clothing, I try to stick to cotton because cotton, natural fibers best. It breathes. I try to avoid a lot of the polyesters for kids' clothing because it can make them too hot. I am starting to dabble in the swimwear and workout athletic apparel.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Elliot's pretty excited. Mom can make her bathing suits now.
Well, I was going to say, what a great, kid to try him out.
Oh,
little guinea pig, and then
she loves to model too. That's so adorable.
On the catwalk, getting her stride down.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, and so this is what I love. So it morphs and builds, and it just creates more diversity.
Yeah.
And really, it's infinite.
Yeah, it's forever changing. There's always a new print, and there's always a new fabric. It's always a different pattern.
I love that. I'm learning so much. Like, we're going to talk more about that fabric and stuff. But now, what's the best way to care for the pieces that you make?
So I do. There's a care label in all my apparel.
Nice.
And so I do recommend, the standard cold wash.
Okay.
Hang to dry is always going to be better for your clothing.
Right.
But I also understand that most of us don't have the time or space for that. Right. So I recommend hang to dry, but there's nothing wrong with throwing your underwear or leggings into the dryer on a low tumble dry.
I get the privilege of trying out one of the industrial machines. Now this is a Juki.
Yeah, a Juki serger.
Serger.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
this
right.
is the 5,000
stitches per minute. Yeah, I turned it down for you.
Thank God. And we've got a pedal.
Yeah, so that pedal on the right lifts the presser foot.
Okay.
So you can lift it up and then put your fabric underneath there.
Okay. Up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Down.
And then now the big pedal on the left is going to start the machine.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now what RPM am I on?
I think it's, well, it'll go as fast as you push. I think maximum you can go about 2,500 right now.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There you go. A perfectly finished seam.
My gosh. Oh my.
There you go. See, you're on your way to making some underwear.
Oh, my first machine stitch. That's amazing.
This is the cover stitch. It's a reverse cover stitch, actually. So I sew it upside down, like with the
upside down.
Yeah.
So all angles.
Yeah.
Because that's incredible, and with the pocket, like, and I just love your attention to these details. Like it's different.
Yeah, it is. It's finding something that you're not going to find everybody else has.
Okay, so
pull it back.
Back, and then here, maybe I'll, let's see. Oh, God. I did it! So just to emphasize, this is not as easy as it looks. Hang on, maybe I didn't.
Make sure the blade's down.
Oh, maybe like.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh!
There you go.
Yay! I don't know, there's something very satisfying about that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
They're very precise.
Wow! I mean, because I kind of have a shaky hand there, but that actually looks semi-straight. Fabulous. It's where the magic all begins. So thanks for taking us through some of the kid articles.
You're welcome.
And, just to show some more examples of some adult possibilities as well. Now, this one's for a very good friend of ours.
Yes.
So, sneak peek coming your way. Now, this is a cardigan.
Yes. Yeah, this is called a cocoon cardigan. So it's a nice waffle knit pattern. This is the eggplant color. Nice. And I make them extra long. So they cover your bum, and this has a really nice band around it too. And so it's kind of an all-season thing. It's light enough that you could wear it in spring or a cool summer night, but it also has that warmth that can keep you warm in the winter. So after doing kids' underwear, I started getting asked about adult underwear. So women's boxers have been pretty popular because I guess it's hard to find a nice women's boxer pattern out there. So we've got, again, you can choose from everything. Nice. Yeah, and this is one of the more popular prints. It's a geometric space print. And this is also going to a special little guy that we know. He's a dog lover. So this is I guess it's I can't remember what kind of dog that is. Boxer? Boston Terrier?
Boston Terrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. With like a cool scarf and
glasses.
And glasses.
Yeah, he's
so
a fashionable dog. Yeah.
And you're never going to see this. Like, it's so unique. And then, of course, I see some
holiday leggings. Yeah, so this is one of the custom prints that I bought, and so cute. And it's just a nice, it's not a super in-your-face Christmas print. Right. And I mean, cute little leggings.
Right. And for turnaround time and stuff like that. So if folks are bracing for Christmas or birthdays or what have you, how much notice would you ideally love?
Ideally, I would prefer you give me 2 weeks to make the item, and then shipping is a whole different ballpark.
Right.
So if you don't live in a major Canadian city, shipping can be longer than a week. Right. And if you obviously overseas, that's way longer than a week. So I would say at least 3 weeks prior to any event that you need an item, you should be placing an order. And with Christmas coming, place it as soon as you can, because all of the shipping outlets have already stated that their cutoff is before December 1st. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, there's a good chance you will still get it, but you don't want to risk it.
That's right, because I can't imagine how many smiles folks are going to get from these custom pieces, like, including myself. Emma, you're not allowed to preview this episode. Well, that's wonderful, Shelly. Thank you so much for inviting us into your inner sanctum, for taking me through, your journey. I mean, I've known you as the hockey player, and I can see why she scored as many goals as she did. That, steady hand and discipline and, allowing me to play with some of the equipment. And I'm so excited for you and your business, and to grow and to support, and farmers markets,
Yes.
and all of that. So, thank you.
Yeah. Well, no, thank you for having me.
Inviting us in.
It's great to be here and just to catch up, and and just to show you, like, it's my life and I love it and I love to share it.
Well, and you can really see that passion and charisma. So, fabulous. So, Shelly Urban, Beanaroo from Shelly Bean.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
Designer extraordinaire and owner-operator of an incredible, unique custom clothing line. So thanks for joining us on this local business section. Elysia Allen with Coldwell Banker Oceanside Real Estate here in Victoria, British Columbia. Until next time.